Well, it's test match time. We've just wrapped up the World Test Championship, and that was a brilliant test match there between South Africa and Australia. South Africa, of course, going on to become champions, but now it's time to shift focus, and all the action takes place now between England and India, two giants of this game. And England have had a brilliant run. They've, of course, not the best World Test Championship cycles, but if you have a look at the individuals in that squad there, you would see that they've had some wonderful, wonderful guys who have played well. Ben Duckett, Joe Root, of course, the highest scorer in the World Test Championship. Ben Stokes, we know how he can change a game, and there's so many other players. Harry Brook also, one of the guys who have played really well. And how crucial is this series going to be now for India? They're going to come in with a new team, and without two of the biggest names ever in Indian cricket history, at least in the recent past, there, Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma. They are not going to be here this time. And India will surely lack that experience for sure, out there in the middle. And they're going to be missing one more other legend in the name of Ravichandran Ashwin as well. So, a lot of things to discuss in this podcast there, and we'll be taking it one by one. And let us know in the comments what you think about the series and how it's going to be. And we got a new name for the series as well, so we'll be talking about that as well. But hello and welcome to Boundary Line Podcast, guys. My name is Dylan Pink, and I've got Sheldon Doherty on the show with me as usual. And it's test match time. India versus England doesn't get bigger than this. Playing in England there, we all eagerly await for this series. And any team that plays India, I think it's going to be a crackerjack of a series there. Be it Australia, be it South Africa, or be it England. It's always going to be a high pressure series, especially for India. You see there, England just going to begin their test season now. There's summer, and they've got a long test season, lined up for them, and we'll be discussing that. But let's start with England first. There's a home team here. Sheldon, your thoughts on England? They've already released their probable 11 there, the playing 11. And what do you make of the squad? It's a new season now for the World Test Championship. What do you make of this England squad, Sheldon?
Yeah, I'll just run to the team quickly first. England named their 11. It's Crawley and Duckett opening. Ollie Pope got the nod at number 3. At 4, any surprises? Who's batting at 4? No, Dil. I mean,
No, no.
it's that man, Joe Root. Harry Brook at 5. Skipper Ben Stokes at 6. Jamie Smith with the gloves at 7. Chris Wokes back in the side at number 8. You got Braden Cass at 9. You got Tongue at 10. And you got Bashir rounding off the side at 11. Oh, Dill, it's a big season. It's a big season if you're an England fan, Dill. England's next 10 tests, Dill, are era defining for this group. I mean,
Yeah.
it's 5 tests against India, and then it's the Ashes towards the end of the year, towards November in Australia, which every English fan has one eye on always, Dill, throughout. That's one eye. But this is a major series as well, Dill. I mean, when you look at it, many people saying England's bowling, perhaps too many injuries, that is an area of concern, Dill. But
Hmm.
this is a top side, Dill. Under Baz and Ben, they've got this thing going, and it's a very good team. They play good cricket, especially at home, Dill, and it's going to be exciting to see how it goes. But yeah, when I look at the 11, I think not many surprises. The only question really was about the extra bowler, whether it would be Tongue
Yeah,
or would it be Overton. I thought that
yeah.
was the question. And I think they went with Tongue because he's a more out and out bowler, while Overton gives you an all round option and a bit of burst with the ball. And the other big question, Dill, was who bats at 3? I mean, everyone has had their doubts. Would it be Pope or would it be that kid Jacob Bethell? We
Jacob,
touch on Bethell
yeah.
a bit, but yeah, Pope got the nod. And honestly, Dill, there is a big criticism of Pope and Crawley, especially, and people say their places are under threat. But honestly, some of the criticism on Ollie Pope is very harsh still because I think when he's come in at number 3, he's done a job for England.
Yeah.
He averages 43 at number 3,
Which is
which
good, right? Which
which
is
is
good.
good, especially in England where it's very tough to, as we know, to be a
Yeah.
top order batter where the ball moves around. It's not the easiest of conditions. And I think Pope's done all right. I think if anyone's should be more in trouble with their place, it's Crawley because he's been more iffy. He's had more bigger bad patches. He has series where he gets single digits, like in the New Zealand where he had an awful tour.
That was
So
bad,
yeah,
yeah.
so I think when you look at it, people are very harsh on Ollie Pope. Yes, he's probably a better middle order batter. He had to bat in the middle order in New Zealand because of the injury to Jamie. Not the injury, but Jamie Smith missed that toe, and then there was an injury to the backup keeper, so he had to bat in the middle order there. So yeah, Pope did well in the middle order, but that kind of created double issues because Bethell did so well at number three that so
Yeah.
that made this concern. But yeah, Pope gets the nod, and I think that's the right call given he made 172 in his last test. So I think right call made.
Yeah, and I agree with you also. The criticism is a bit harsh for Ollie Pope, and he's done well wherever he's gone. Yes, they went to India also, and he played really well. They got that
Yeah.
scintillating 100. I remember played so well. Of course, the next few tests was,
Yeah.
very, very. Even the Indian batsman couldn't get runs, so I'm not going to say anything on that there. That's a topic to be discussed for another day. But I think Ollie Pope, Shalan, is one of the experienced guys in the team, and when you are playing an experienced side like India, a high, uh, what do you say, a strong side like India, especially coming to your country to play, you need that experience. And if you look at that squad there, you see Ben Duckett. He's gotten the team out of good starts there. Harry Brook has been in some sublime form in the past year and a half or two. Joe Root, I don't want to even say anything. We've run out of adjectives to describe that guy. The guy's a beast. He's a machine, and I'm looking forward to a high run scoring season for Joe Root. This could be the make or break. Not make or break in a way that he's going to lose a spot, but to probably put himself up in the list of one of the all-time legends of legends. He's already an England legend, I would say, and a Test match legend. But to be put in that legend bracket there, right below the god of Test matches there. He's on the brink, Sheldon, and we'll come to that in a moment there. But Stokes has also got the experience there, and you see that squad also. But my question, what I wanted to ask you is, coming to the bowling, do you think that they lack a bit of experience? And India also with a relatively young bowling attack getting into the series. Looking at that one, I was surprised they left out this guy, Overton. I was really
Yeah.
surprised they left out Overton because I thought he did really well for England. Of course, record-breaking match he had, in the last few tests that he played there. Absolutely brilliant, and I expected him to be in the team. So were you a bit surprised by his exclusion?
Yeah, well, I mean, that was the only doubt really who plays as the third seamer because I thought Wokes and Cast picked themselves. So Cast, I thought, was brilliant in the winter, Dill. I thought
Brilliant, brilliant
he
game,
was the
yeah.
bowler of the winter for England, in the winter. He was brilliant in Pakistan on those spinner-friendly pitches, I thought, which had nothing for the seamers. He did well. He was brilliant again in New Zealand, so I thought Cast was definitely there. Wokes, Dill, I mean, in England, he's just brilliant, Dill. He
Yeah,
should be the first name on the team sheet in English conditions because he was man of the series in the Ashes as well for England. He was
yeah,
absolutely brilliant there. But yeah, Overton a bit unlucky. He also had a slight injury in the West Indies series,
yeah,
so he was not fully fit. So maybe later in the series he'll have a part to play, especially with it being five Test matches still. I think
yeah,
every bowler's going to get a game, Dill, whoever's
yeah.
in the squad. But yeah, for Town, Dill, I mean, when you look at it, it's a good opportunity for him. He, of course, played the second Ashes Test, in England in 23, and then he got injured, and then he was unfortunate. But he's back now, a big series, a big opportunity here for him as well, Dill. If any player does well for England here, they could be on the plane to Australia,
Exactly.
in November, December. So it's a big opportunity. Obviously, injuries have been an issue for England. Archer injured, Wood injured, Atkinson injured. Those are
Yeah,
three injuries there. But I mean, opportunities arise then, right? Till you got to take your opportunity when you
yeah.
get it, and it's a good opportunity for these bowlers. But yeah, I think Wokes will be super key, Till, especially with his experience. The fact that he's played so many big games and big series, Till, it'll be key that he leads this attack well if England are to do well.
Yeah, he's going to be the one that's going to lead. Of course, England also without two of the biggest names in their squad, and no one's speaking about that, Sheldon. I'm surprised.
Yeah,
Everyone's talking about Rohit and Kohli, but
yeah,
England also is, for the first time going into a big series like this without two big names, Stuart Broad and
yeah.
the goat. I think the youngest guy. I think we should just name him James Anderson, right? What about that, Sheldon? I think because this is now a new era also, for England in terms of their bowling. Because first time they're going to be without both these guys there. What's your thought on that? Your take on that, Sheldon?
Yeah, you're absolutely right there because everyone's been talking about no Roth, no Kohli, but no Broad and no Anderson in English conditions is also like a big missing factor, because they've done it for so many years, Dill. I mean, how often is it you turn up to a test in England and Anderson one and Broad the other, and
It's going to
with
be
that
weird to
with
watch.
that juice
It's
for
going to be super weird to watch. I was just thinking about it. No Rohit, no Kohli, no
yeah.
Anderson, no Broad. That matchups are not going to be there.
Yeah, it's crazy, Dill. I mean, to just think they all played the last test match, which was here in England as well. Ashwin also. Ashwin was there
Yeah,
as well. So just crazy when you look at it. But yeah, the two big losses. But I mean, every legend goes and there has to be a new player to come in, Dill. And we're gonna
yeah,
see many young players in this series as well who have to step up, Dill. And
yeah,
big opportunities. Obviously, this also gave Wokes a second chance, to lead the
yeah.
attack, Dill. Who would have thought
Exactly.
at 35 he'll be leading the England attack
Insane, man.
for
Yeah.
big test series? I mean, Wokes probably thought his test career was over, Dill, but he came back, he did well in the Ashes, and now he's England's lead bowler. And yeah, I mean, big opportunities for the youngsters, but yeah, it's going to be odd seeing no Brody and no Anderson. But for Anderson, Dill, his name is on the trophy, right, Dill? The
Oh
Anderson
gosh.
Tendulkar. I mean, two legends, Dill. I think they got it right with the two picks there. Anderson, Tendulkar, two of the greatest to play for each of the two countries. And I think it was a good change, Dill. I thought it's a nice name to have on the trophy as well.
A lot of people will disagree with you, Sheldon, because I thought they should have kept it and probably add in another England legend there, like Botham, and just so that the youngsters who are watching Test cricket don't forget the people who actually made Test cricket interesting back in the day, the Patodi and Botham series. I thought would have been like really really cool also. So, but anyhow, it's not meant to be there. But you
Yeah.
you were speaking about legends, Sheldon. There, every legend must go out, and there's a new person that comes in. But there's one legend there sitting in that team there who's on the brink of becoming the second highest run scorer ever. And you all heard me right, the second highest run scorer ever in the history of Test cricket, who is only going to be behind the great Sachin Tendulkar. It's none other than Joe Root. The guy's a machine. He's a beast. He turns up every single series and he gets at least 100 in one series, Sheldon. That's absolutely insane. And we've been discussing his, especially the last 4 to 5 years, the way he's converted his hundreds. And if you look at the so-called Fab Four now no more Fab
Yeah.
Four, but Kohli, Williamson, Root, you look at them and Babar Azam or whoever, if you stack up the hundreds and see right after COVID, the conversion rate of Joe Root is absolutely insane. I mean, no no offense to Kohli fans or Smith fans or whatever, but Joe Root is a beast, Sheldon, and 370 odd runs now behind to become the second highest run scorer. That must be really, really, a monumental feat. I mean, imagine him as a young kid playing, and you'd have never thought that he's going to reach there, right?
Yeah, Dylan, he debuted at Nagpur in 2012, Dylan, in
Who
that
can
series as
forget that
well.
series? Who
He
can forget
debuted,
that debut, bro? Still
yeah,
remember that.
he was playing alongside Peterson and Trott and Cook and all those legends. Who would have thought he'll get more test runs than any of them, Dill, when he debuted as that young kid, on a spinning track. He hit a 50 on debut as well. I mean, who would have thought, Dill? He turned into quite the batter. I mean, probably England's greatest ever batter, Dill. He'll go on and be one of the all-time test greats still as well when he's done. And the run he's been on till since the start of 21 has just been incredible, Dill. I mean, the appetite he's showing for Test cricket as well, Dill. I mean, he just loves Test cricket and he loves batting, doesn't he, Dill? I mean, no matter who he's playing against, he just comes in and he scores series after series. And he's 35, but he seems like he still loves the game as much as he did when he debuted in 2012, Dill. It's just
Yeah.
crazy the hunger he had. He recently also played against the Windies. He had a brilliant 100, Dill, in that series as well.
No,
And
no
that's just
surprise. Yeah.
that's just how he is, Dill. And you'd back him to get 370 runs in the series as well, Dill. I mean, for Ruth, that's just a normal five-match series, right? Dill, 370 runs. I mean, yeah, what a chance for him. And if he doesn't get in this series, Dill, he could get it in that other series, which is, I think, a little big as well. He could get in the Ashes. I'm sure he wouldn't mind that too. Going over punter maybe in Perth, though, that would be something, Dill. But yeah, I mean, I'd back him to get in this series, Dill. And
Yeah.
in the form he's in, it just looks very possible.
Oh yeah, all eyes will be on Joe Root when he comes out facing India in this series. There is on the brink of becoming the second highest run scorer in the history of Test cricket. But over to India now, and where they are as a team. Of course, it's an end of an era with Ashwin, Rohit, and Virat Kohli. A lot of the times, that they've gone on tours, it's been, Rohit and Kohli or Virat Kohli sometimes dominating that 2018 series when he played there. You've seen that he was determined to go out and, prove a point there and, dominated. The bowling 2014, of course, was a dismal tour that he had. Anderson was his bunny. They're literally getting him out in almost every test, and but he made that change, came back, and it's going to be a big void in this Indian team there. Because if you have a look at the tentative squad there, and we will just read that out now in some time. But it's a big crucial series for India there because it's a start of a new era now. Shubman Gill Sheldon is the captain. Your thoughts on that? Should it have been KL Rahul? Should it have been Jasprit Bumrah? I think they've asked him and he said he didn't want a captain. I think should it have been Shreyas Iyer? Probably just bring in the guy. The guy can do nothing wrong now at the moment, right?
Yeah.
But they've gone in with Gill, and from what we hear, reports and from other videos that we've seen that he's a very, very, he's astute and he's looking, to take this on very seriously. And it's a big honor to lead India in a series like this against a very strong England attack there. So your thoughts on India's team? They're coming in here. It's the start of a new era.
Oh, Dil, I mean, to be honest, I think the best possible captain was the one who was not practical. I think Jasprit Bumrah is the best leader in India, Dil. He's the best cricketer in the world. I mean, it's very rare you come to a series, especially when India touring, Dil, and you're not talking about batters, you're talking about Jasprit Bumrah, Dil. What a player he is. We saw him in Australia, Dil. But I think the reason he's not captain, and we saw that in the last game, Dil, is
Yeah,
that he cannot play all five test matches.
it's
You
impossible,
you
man. It's
cannot
going to be,
run
yeah,
Bumrah to the
yeah,
ground, and I think the talk is around that he's going to play three games, you
yeah.
know, and I don't know, Dil, you can say that at the start of the series, but you're telling me if it's 2-1, suppose England are leading 2-1, you're not going to play Bumrah in the fourth test if he's played two or three already. It's tough to suddenly, midway in a series when things are happening, Dil. And
Yeah,
when imagine if India have a chance to win the series and they're 2-1 up and Bumrah's already played three games. You're telling me he won't play? It's just
that's tough. Yeah,
it
that is
can
going to
happen
be
like
tough.
that, Dil. And yeah, I mean we'll talk more in depth about Bumrah, but you asked about the captaincy, Dil. I think it's a tough thing to captain India, Dil. I mean, I think Dinesh Karthik said it as well. I think Gill doesn't know yet how big this is because he's not yet played. Because it's not just on the pitch, still. I mean, there's so much media, there's so much expectation for an Indian captain, Dil. And I just don't know if it's the right thing for Gill to deal with right now. I think he's still not settled in into Test cricket, as well as he has in the other formats. In white ball cricket, he's a superstar. He's one of the first
Brilliant.
names
Yeah,
on the team sheet. ODIs, T20, he's top class. But just in Test, we saw in Australia as well, he struggled a bit. He hasn't had the best of time. We don't know where he's going to bat. Is it going to open? Is it going to be at three? Is it going to be at four? In the inter squad game, I think he batted at three. I think that's where he
yeah,
batted. So I
yeah.
think that's where most likely he'll bat. But yeah, Dil, is it too much of a burden on him? I would have personally liked Gill being there just as a batter, focusing on getting me the runs. But then when you look at it, who was the other option? Rishabh Pant. He also just captained recently in the IPL.
Yeah,
Captaincy didn't go great for him. So
yeah,
again, there's a lot of pressure with captaincy. Someone has to captain Dil. It can't be Bumrah, so it has to be someone else. But yeah, I think you never know. Dil, captaincy can make or break someone, right? Maybe this will be what Gill needs for his test career. Suddenly he'll
yeah.
come out, that extra expectation. He'll wear it on his chest. He'll come out. He'll bat better. We know Kohli loved, captaining India, and that brought out the
Exactly.
best of him.
Yeah,
So you never know. And from everyone that's played under him at Gujarat, they've said that he's got a good tactical mind, Gill, and he's a good leader. So, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, a lot of pressure on Gill when he comes. And as Karthik said, yeah, he's coming to the Lions Den Dil to play. I mean, when
literally,
he comes
bro.
out at Headingley, it's going to be some experience Dil for him.
Yeah, this is going to be a very, very crucial test series, not only for Gill the captain, but Gill the batsman also, I feel,
Yeah.
because he's been low on the runs, in this World Test Championship cycle that just got done. But he's a much better guy than that, Sheldon. When he plays, we've seen him so well. The drives, the pull shots, the way he plays, it's just like poetry in motion sometimes, when he plays the guy. So really, really hoping that he does well. And you never know, like you said, when VK was a captain and he took over, it just brought out a different
Yeah.
Virat Kohli altogether. So hoping for the same, and that Gill leads this side and does well. It's going to be an interesting series there. But question, who's going to bat at number four? A lot of names popping up. Is it going to be Sai Sudarshan? Is it going to be Shubman Gill? Is it going to be KL Rahul? Karun Nair? There's so many guys that who can bat there. But let's go to the order, Sheldon, basically. So Yashasvi
Yeah.
Jaiswal surely there in the team. KL
Yeah.
Rahul, I think, is likely going to open there. They don't want to tinker with that. Left, right, at the top there. Sai Sudarshan, do you think he should bat up there along with Gill at number four?
Yeah, I think Sudarshan should bat at three. I think that'll be a good position for him to bat in. But Dil, I mean, if Gill's taking number four, Dil, that is also a big position in the order, right? When you
But
think
who
of the
else?
last,
But who
yeah,
else, Sheldon? That's the
yeah.
question. Who else is there?
But Dil, that's a tough act to follow, right? You had Sachin there for a long time, then you had Kohli there, and now Gill. I mean, for Gill, it doesn't get easier. But yeah, Dil, I think it's the right choice. I think
Yeah.
Gill has to bat there. I think Sudarshan batting at three, that gives Gill a bit more time. He can come in maybe when the ball's a bit older as well, better position. Number four is usually your best batter, Dil. So I
Yeah.
think Gill batting there is the right choice. And I think he can grow into that role as well. So I think four is a good spot for him to bat. At five,
Mm-hmm.
Dill, is Karun Nair a lock for that, you feel, with his recall?
Karun Nair, man, the story of the Phoenix, basically, right? He just
Yeah.
like rose out of somewhere, man. This guy has been down and out, and after scoring a triple hundred, how often when you score a triple hundred, you become only the second Indian in the history, and one
Yeah.
of the very few people in the world to score a triple hundred, right? And then you're not picked, Sheldon. The guy's been through a lot, and I feel it's the right call to have him. He's been banging on that Indian door so much and probably just broken the door also, like,
Yeah.
to get him. And how much more? And if he didn't get picked in this series, I would have been that how much more should he do now to actually prove himself because he's looking in sublime form. Even in the IPL, we've seen him, Sheldon, the way he played. It was just brilliant, right?
Yeah.
So I feel Karun Nair locks in that position for me, and it's justified. He's waited a long time. You got to give him the chance. If you don't give him the chance, you're never going to know. It could be a very interesting one for him, this England series. And you never know after that, the way India's World Test Championship, the test matches are lined up, this guy can be a regular now after this, right? And he can probably take India all the way through. You never know how, cricket's a
Yeah.
funny game. But number six, do you think it's Rishabh Pant?
Yeah, Dill, I think Pant will bat at six. He'll be there as the keeper. And I mean, Test is his format, right? Dill, he's so good for Indian Test cricket. Dill, he's done it time and time again. And I think that's his best format as well. It just
Yeah,
feels like he's
surprisingly, right?
yeah,
Surprisingly.
yeah. It feels like he's not rushed in Test cricket, which is crazy because you think the way he plays, it would actually be the format that doesn't suit him, right? But yeah, it's the best format for him. He'll hope he can get back some form. I mean, he did hit 100 in his last IPL game as well, Dil. So maybe he could carry over some form there. So yeah, but as we know, Dil, Pant's X factor. If he clicks, he's entertaining to watch. Both fans will enjoy watching Pant. I mean, he's that type of cricketer. But I think then the questions come for India till seven and eight. You'd probably say there'll be two all-rounder spots. I think
Yeah,
that's between Jadeja, Nitish Kumar Reddy, and Thakur. I think two of them,
yeah.
right, will look likely
Ravi
to play.
Jadeja,
Yeah,
Ravi Jadeja plays, man, straight up.
yeah,
You can't. He's another experienced guy in that side. They're probably the only one with KL Rahul and Bumrah, who've got that enough of experience under their belt and played on various sort of wickets,
yeah,
right? So I would have him in the squad there. But who the other two would be a pick between Shardul Thakur and Nitish Kumar Reddy. I would go
yeah,
with Shardul Thakur,
yeah,
simply because again experience. He's a man with a golden arm, and of course he's the Lord. Wherever he plays,
yeah,
he's got that lucky charm with him.
yeah.
Last time also around in Australia, when they were there, he did well. So this is also going to be a very important series for Shardul Thakur. And after that, I think Jasprit Bumrah, you would say 100% in the team there. Your other two quicks, who would it be? Would you be tempted to go with Arshdeep or not?
I think Siraj also is definitely a pick. I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
with his
Siraj is definitely
experience.
there. Yeah,
So I think
sorry, I
then
missed
it's
him out. Yeah,
yeah, Siraj. Then I think it's the last spot is between Arshdeep and Krishna. I'd say. I think those
yeah,
two are the ones fighting for that spot. It's just what they prefer. Whether you prefer the left arm option or you want that taller bowler who gets bounce. So I think
yeah.
that'll be an interesting call. I think I'd go with Krishna though, Dil. I think with his bounce and the fact that he'll get something different from the surface because of his
Yeah.
height, and he just brings something different to the attack. I think I would just go with him, Dil. What about you? Would you go with him, or would you want that left arm option with
I would be
Arshdeep?
tempted if it's overcast. I wake up,
Yeah,
on Friday and
yeah,
see it's overcast, and I will be like, okay, Arshdeep, let's go.
yeah,
Just to give it that little bit, because it's going to be very tough. Overcast condition, the left arm swinging it in and swinging it out. Also, it will be tough, for guys like even the best of guys like Root and
yeah.
everyone, right? So I would just see how that plays. That if Prasidh Krishna is bowling well, straight up Prasidh Krishna is straight away in the team. But that's the only thing I feel with India, because you got Bumrah as a right-hander, Siraj right-hander, Prasidh Krishna also right-hander. You got your other all-rounder in Shardul Thakur, who's also a right-hander. So
Yeah.
just to give it that little bit of difference in the bowling attack, I would say Arshdeep. But he will be under immense pressure because, of course, going to be his first time, playing here as well there. But that was just discussing about India. They're going to be coming in, new team, new captain there. So let's see how they're going to do. But just to wrap up this podcast, Sheldon, some last few points. They are England favorites to win this series. And how key is Bumrah going to be? We've already discussed that, but if you want to like mention something on Bumrah, where his form is going to be super important. You've seen even in Australia, when he played, his average, I think overall in the World Test Championship was 15 or something,
Yeah.
which is absolutely insane, man.
Yeah, and I think to answer those two questions as well, Dil, I think England just start as favorites. I think with them being at home and also with India a bit inexperienced, especially, without Rohit and Kohli, it's a big loss, obviously. So I think England
Yeah,
will start as favorites.
yeah,
And you mentioned Bumrah, Dil. He's the most important player in that Indian team, Dil.
yeah,
I mean, Bumrah's just world class still, and yeah, he's going to be so key for them. If India are to win 1-2 Test matches, Bumrah will have to be integral to both those games still, because as we saw in Australia also, Dil, when Bumrah's bowling and then if he's off the attack, it's so different. Right, it's almost
yeah.
like it's a different game because even if
True.
it's flat, he can get something out of that surface still. But obviously, they've mentioned 3 Test matches still. Do you think he'll play 3 Test matches, or do you feel we're going to see Bumrah pull up to maybe 4? Not
I
5. I
think
doubt he's going to play 5
I think he'll
because,
play four.
yeah,
Like you said, if India go on and probably lead the series 2-1 of the series is, uh, you know, India have a good chance in the next test of winning. They will be tempted to play, and I think it's just about managing his overs, and the workload on him. Of course, he's key. And the more overs he bowls, the better for India. But he's human at the end of the day, and you've
yeah,
got to give him that break. And if he's going to do the bulk of the bowling there, but someone else, that's what this series is going to be so important. And we say that every time, Sheldon, when India toes to South Africa, when India go to Australia and England, it's so important for people to put their hand up and be like, okay, we know Bumrah is the leader of this attack, but can I do it for my team over here? Can I support Bumrah over here and help him out a bit? Because if there's another bowler with Bumrah, Sheldon, who's getting that help and who's helping him out, I think it's going to be really tough for England, I feel, because the bowling, I think, again, this series is going to be defining. And we've been saying that, right throughout. It's bowlers that win you the series and championships, right? And it's a complete team effort. But
yeah.
at the end of the day, you look at it very closely, it's the bowlers who actually do it for your team.
Yeah, for sure. Then it should be a cracking series. I mean, two different styles. A new captain for India. You got Baz and Bazball. How is it gonna go against India? Will they keep playing that way? It's gonna be fantastic. It starts as Headingley, which is different as well for an English summer.
Oh,
Usually they
yeah.
start at Lords or they start at
Lots, yeah.
Edgbaston, but yeah, starting differently at Headingley, and England have a great record at Headingley as well usually. So it should be fantastic. Series prediction, Dil. Let's
Let's
end
go
the one.
series predictions. Last, before the series starts, like I'm an Indian fan, of course, right,
Yeah.
Sheldon? You all watch India. You want India to do well,
Yeah.
but I just feel England are super favorites here, starting at home. But then to, England's favorites starting at home. I'm gonna be, saying India 2-1 on this one, in this series. Just about, it's going to be a very close fought contest, this one, and I think it's going to go down really, really well as one of those legendary series. I hope I'm right, and I hope India proves me right in this one. But what about you? England, you would say?
Yeah, I think I'll go England. I expect England to win the series. I think it'll be tight though. I think especially the start. I think the first few games will be tight till. I think obviously the workload as well of Bumrah is very important. I think I'll go England. I think all five games will probably have results. I'll go 3-2 to England. I'll go 3-2.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah, five. If we get five results still, that'll be insane though. Can you
Oh
imagine?
yeah, oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, and now we are seeing that like most of the games are
Yeah.
getting like results. So I'm going to revise my prediction here a
Yeah.
bit. I'm going to say India 3-2. I'm going to say
3-2.
India 3-2. It's
3-2.
going to be tough, I know, but just positive. You got to send out the vibes
Yeah.
there to all our
So now,
Indian
Dil, are we
fans
going to
there.
see a boring 1-1 series, Dil? Now three draws? No, I don't think we'll get that with the
Wait,
way
with
teams play. I don't
the
think.
the way both these teams play, I'm telling you,
Yeah.
the mentality is like
Yeah. You're not going to
completely
get
different.
those draws. Yeah, for sure,
Yeah,
Dil. I think it's
but
going to
I
be fantastic.
but I
Yeah.
want the series to be hard fought. That's what I
Yeah.
want. I don't mind whichever side wins the series, but I want it to be entertaining. Like that legendary Ashes 2005 or the Ashes Down Under. I want it to be interesting. I want teams to come back and try and win. And yeah, let's hope and see how this goes. It's going to be an interesting series, and yeah, we're just looking forward to both the teams play well. And irrespective of whichever team wins, like I said, cricket should be the ultimate winner here in the end because both teams are equally good here. Of course, England got the experience; they're playing at home, so they will have the edge slightly over India. But don't count out India. They're coming with a new captain, new team. So expect them to give a fight there, and let's see how it goes, guys. But that's it from us on the podcast. Thank you so much for watching the video. It's been an absolute pleasure bringing it to you guys. Do stay tuned to Boundaryline Podcast for more such analysis and reviews. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram. The handle's down in the description. And we'll see you soon in the next video. Bye.
Bye.